France welcomes the world for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. In this edition, heroic Team Kenya is pushing boundaries as well.
An Olympic gold medal.
More significantly, Kenya is intent on claiming victory at the quadrennial sporting event comprising of 45 sports that will be staged from 24th of July through to the 11th of August. Here comes a dose for everyone.
Yes, it is!
For the athlete, it is chasing a dream of a lifetime. And for the fan, witness history in the making, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
TVET is 100. TVET will be celebrating 100 years of promoting skills development for empowerment and productive employment in Kenya. TVETs impart technical skills that aid in eradicating the menace of unemployment in our country. The TVET Centenary celebration will highlight the gains made in the TVET sector since 1924. The celebrations aim to promote employability, mobility, decent work, entrepreneurship, and lifelong learning among the youth and the adults. The theme of the TVET at 100 celebrations is, if education is the key to employability, TVET is the master key. Join us at KBC National Polytechnic from 29th to 31st July from 9 a.m. to celebrate this milestone and learn more about TVETs. The event will be graced by His Excellency President Dr. William Ruto. For more information, visit our website or call the number on your screen. All are welcome.
Good afternoon and welcome to KBC's Lunchtime News on this, the 29th of July 2024. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Lensa Odingo. Talk to us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 and at Abdiaziz Hashim 1. So sit back, relax and let's inform you. And I want to start here in the capital where the Prime Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, earlier on had to, of course, attend the opening ceremony of the TVET National Research Conference at the KBC National Polytechnic. He spoke a while ago, given that they are marking TVET at 100th century celebration, which of course is spearheaded. It is a 3-day event. Let's listen in to the conversation during that particular session where the Prime Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, was leading.
The government scaled up the recruitment of additional trainers. In the 2022-23 financial year, alone, 1,300 trainers were hired. Recruitment of another 2,000 trainers interviewed during the 23-24 financial year is at an advanced stage. The government scholarship program focused on the trainee has ensured equity and inclusivity by providing grants to needy students. Over 1.95 billion Kenya shillings has been disbursed this year to 52,542 trainees. In addition, the Higher Education Loans Board disbursed 6.5 billion Kenya shillings in loans to 166,924 trainees. This hybrid model, aligned to the funding needs of individual trainees, is designed to enhance retention and completion, ensuring that no one is left behind. TVET's phenomenal growth has become a game changer for our country. It is a key driver of social and economic transformation at national and local levels. It is worth noting that TVET has supported Kenya's transformation through 3 industrial revolutions, from the 2nd to the 4th. We are now in the 4th or 4.0 industrial revolution, characterized by rapid technological progress, demographic transformation, and climate change that are shaping a new world. The fundamental challenge for us now is to position our TVET training to adapt to the emerging global environment and demand for skills in new areas of growth, such as artificial intelligence and advanced robotics. This is a key area of focus by the Ministry of Education, which is investing in TVET education and training technology to prepare our youth for the 4th industrial revolution and beyond. I wish to applaud the leadership of TVET, led by PS Dr. Moria, for the zeal and passion with which you are implementing practical programs to empower our youth by scaling up enrollment and linking them to the job market. It is refreshing to note that you have, since September 2023, fully implemented the competency-based education.
That was earlier on, where the Prime Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, was presiding over the opening ceremony of the TVET National Research Conference at the Kabete National Polytechnic. Of course, the climax of that particular event, which is the TVET at 100th century celebration, will be attended by President William Ruto come July 31st, and will be there, of course, to cover those events for you. Now to the political realm, where PNU party leader Peter Munya now says that the party is considering withdrawing from the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition a few days after NARC Kenya party leader, that is Martha Karua, left the coalition. Speaking in Imenti South constituency, Meru County, Munya urged Azimio to fully join the government, noting that the coalition cannot be in the government and at the same time purport to be in the opposition. Munya said his party will remain steadfast in the opposition and offer the alternative voice.
Alhamisi ijayo tutakuwa na kikao cha NEC ya chama cha PNU, ambapo tutaamua msimamo wetu kama chama kuhusu uhusiano wetu na muungano wa Azimio. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu ile chama cha ODM ambayo ilikuwa chama kwa hii muungano wamejiunga na serikali, na kama wamejiunga na serikali hawawezi kuwa kwa serikali na pia wawe kwa upinzani. Kwa hivyo kama Azimio imesema imekuwa sehemu moja ya serikali, sisi ambao tunataka kukaa upinzani lazima tujitenge, ndio tuweze kuendelea kutetea wananchi wa Kenya.
And in other news, police in Kisii County are holding a man who is alleged to have stabbed and terrorized worshippers in Kisii Town Church. 3 worshippers, including area OCPD Isaac Kimwele, who were injured, were rushed to Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, where they were attended to rather. Joseph Ohungu with that report.
All hell broke loose Sunday morning when a knife-wielding man descended on worshippers in a church in Kisii, injuring 3 people and leaving a host of worshippers shaken. Francis Makori, a worshipper in the church, said the stranger who donned a face mask and goggles disrupted the second Sunday service.
Tulikuja kanisa kama kawaida, tukianza second service. Tukiwa tunafanya worship, mmoja akaingia ameweka mask na goggles za black. Then kidogo akienda mbele, security akaambiwa, akienda mbele hivi, security akaambiwa arudi nje. Sasa baada ya kurudi anazungumza kwenda nje, kidogo anaanza kung'ang'ana, kumbe alikuwa na kisu.
and in a split second, the attacker, who uttered incoherent words, started gesturing and raising his hands with a handkerchief underneath before stabbing churchgoers indiscriminately.
Then ilikuwa karibu hapo sasa, mimi nikaenda huko na mimi akanistamp kisu kwa kichwa. Then watu wakaingilia kati, baadaye akaanza kutoroka. Anaingia na akifanya a lot of gestures, no? Ndio maana hao watu wa security ndio wakaona it's not normal person. After which wakati alishikwa ndio alikuwa anasema alikuwa anataka kuua watu. Sasa I don't know exactly. Alikuwa ametumwa ama alikuwa anataka kuua watu wangapi.
So mimi kama ofisa wa kwanza alinidunga. Alafu sasa nikaanza kushout akona kisu. Dakika hiyo ndani ya kanisa kulikuwa na police officers ndani. Wakafika immediately, wakamkamata, kisu ikapatikana, na sahi ako arrested, ako Kisii Central Police Station.
The stranger, who is said to have behaved like a mentally disturbed person, tried to flee from the church after his act, but was nabbed by worshippers who handed him over to police officers at Kisii Central Police Station. According to Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital's Dr. Stafford Mogoa, the hospital received 3 people with stab wounds.
Sustained soft tissue injuries. They came to our facility. We managed to stabilize them, do some stitching, and then they were all discharged and they were all stable. They were all discharged in a stable condition.
Joseph Wahungu for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, a section of border operators in Nairobi County have donated food and non-food items to Mathare area for residents who were affected by the floods. The affected residents, who lost most of their belongings to the flood, have been forced to live in deplorable conditions, received clothing, bedding and shoes from the border operators. The area's senior chief, Christine Odeba, applauded the initiative, appealing to other well-wishers to help families in that particular region.
Kwanza nataka kusema asante kwa wana bodaboda. Mmefanya kitu ya maana sana. At least sasa nimepata nguo, hata nikienda church nitapata nguo ya kwenda nayo church. Msichana wangu amepata nguo, hata nimepata shati pia ya mzee.
Just come here to give back to the society, and we are urging everyone out there that it is a time that you need to feel the pain that other people are feeling. If you have something that can help somebody and you're not using it in your house, please give it out so that it can help.
Hao wanaitwa digital bodaboda, na wamekumbuka kuna wenzao waliumia na wakakuja, na ningeaji sana wenzao wengine wajue wasitumike kwa njia mbaya. Tuliona juzi wenzao wengine wakitumika kwa njia siyofaa, na ningependa kusema hiyo notion watu wako nayo bodaboda ni wezi, bodaboda ni watu wabaya, ni watu wasikizi. That is not true.
Police in Dumberi, Kiambu County, are investigating circumstances under which a middle-aged man was brutally killed at his house in Murang'a village last evening. The victim is said to have been lynched by a group of men after his mother allegedly hired them to beat him up for allegedly stealing and selling household items from her house. This comes as suspected sorcerer has succumbed to his injuries inflicted by a mob in Bomachoge Borabu, Kisii County.
77-year-old Gilbert Okoyo from Samba village in Bomachoge Borabu is said to have been caught naked at a neighbor's compound in the dead of the night. It is said that the deceased was in possession of paraphernalia believed to be used for witchcraft.
Kuna mahali alikuwa na chimba, tukapata kuna hii mbegu ya avocado ameitengeneza, ile nchi ameitengeneza, akatengeneza kashimo hivi. Ile vitu zilikuwa hapo ni vitu mingi sana, tukaona ni madawa. Bado iko na kifuniko yake. Sasa alikuwa kwa ile harakati ya kuchimba ndio aweke labda hiyo madawa hapo kwa mlango.
Failure to offer satisfactory answer as to how he accessed the compound angered the villagers who descended on him, inflicting life-threatening injuries.
Hapa nyumbani tumekuwa na shida kubwa sana kila wakati. Ikifika usiku watu hawalali. Nasikia tu watu wanakuja wanatembea usiku kwa poma. Ukienda kutoka hakuna mtu.
Na serikali pia inyoshe mkono itusaidie, maana hiki si kitendo cha mara ya kwanza.
However, his wife says that Okoyo had only left the house at night to answer a call of nature, only for her to be informed he had been caught at a neighbor's compound naked.
Alitoka saa 3:30 na alienda atandogo na muongoza hakuna kukuja.
Okoyo later succumbed to the injuries at Kenyanya Sub-County Hospital. Elsewhere in Ndomberi, Kiambu County, a middle-aged man only identified as Ken was brutally murdered last night under unclear circumstances. It is alleged that his mother hired goons to discipline her son over allegations of stealing from her house.
Ati anataka Ken achapwe ndio Ken aseme kwenye hizo vitu ameuza. Na sasa juu Ken amesema, lakini sijui hakuwa anajua kama Ken amekufa. Juu vile niliingia mimi niliona Ken hayuko. Na vile Ken alikuwa amechapwa, Ken alikuwa amefanywa vitu baya sana.
Neighbors want investigations conducted as the mother is said to be mentally unstable.
Swali langu ni mtoto alikuwa anachapiwa nini? Hakuna haja ya kuchapa mtoto na kuna serikali.
Tunataka tujue hao alikuwa amelipa, wamesida serikali yetu ndio aende wawalipe. Sisi hatuwajui, lakini yeye anawajua, junior aliwalipa. Kwa hivyo ache kusema hajui kifo ya mtoto yake, anajua.
They have vowed not to allow for the burial of the victim until those behind his killing are apprehended. Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Nakuru County Government has embarked on repairing feeder roads damaged by the recent rains. The county has set aside 100 million shillings for rehabilitation of roads in all the 55 wards. Major roads and bridges affected by the rains will also be rehabilitated. Naivasha was one of the hardest hit constituencies in Nakuru County after a dam burst in Kijabe area, killing over 60 people in Mai Mahiu.
Tumeonelea kwamba hii daraja imekuwa ikiwa ni hatari ama ni tisho kwa maisha ya watu ambao wanapitia hii daraja. Na ndiposa tumekuja hapa leo, tumeleta contractor ili aweze kuanza kutufanyia marekebisho kidogo.
Na vile hii barabara ama daraja ilibebwa wakati tunaelekea kumaliza financial year 23-24, hatukuwa na pesa. So ilibidi tugojee sasa tupitishe budget ya 24-25 ndio tupate pesa ya kujenga hii daraja.
Sisi tutawapea ample time ndio watufanyie hiyo kazi, ndio at least hata hizi maboda zetu tuache kupeleka. Tumeenda garage sana, mashokonsoba nini na mambavu zimetuuma sana, ni vile wengine hawawezi sema.
Now, the first cohort of the Murang'a's youth service graduated Saturday with certificates in various artisanal courses. The group of more than 700 young people was sponsored by the county government to undertake a 3-month training in local vocational training centers managed by the National Industrial Training Authority, that is NITA. Murang'a County Governor, that is Irungo Kangata, who presided over the graduation ceremony at Ihura Stadium, said his administration will provide a startup capital of up to 15,000 Kenya shillings to all the graduates to help them venture into various businesses. Those who will establish businesses in towns within the county will be exempted from tax, among other licenses, for a period of 1 year.
Ina gain momentum, inaendelea kuwa mzuri. Venye tulianzia sio mahali tuko sahi. At least hii program inaendelea kuwa program ambayo ni programu nzuri sana.
Invest na kazi yako so that kama wewe ni wa hairdresser na umepata equipment na umeanzia kazi yako na kuna mwenzako from the next cohort mwenye atakuja, mvute mkuje mfanye na yeye kazi, mfanye kazi.
It's not too late to come back and do a vocational course. And even as you do the degree, think about a vocational course.
We allow your businesses to grow. We allow your businesses to ripen before we start asking you for any taxation. We'll continue partnering with the private sector as a county government.
There was drama outside a Mombasa church yesterday after attempts by parents of a Nyali school to get a hold of the school's chairman of the Board of Trustees to surrender crucial documents hit a snag. The parents had waited for the embattled chairman outside the church where he worships, only for the chairman to secretly leave the venue in a different vehicle.
Parents of the Nyali school, embroiled in a management row for months, camped outside a Mombasa church yesterday to ambush the embattled school's chairman of the Board of Trustees and force him to hand over ownership documents. But their vigil outside the church turned futile after the chairman outsmarted them by leaving the venue in a different car. The parents' attempts to request for the documents have fallen on deaf ears as the trustees have been non-committal. Kevin Opio, a parent at the school, attributed the trustee with the problems facing the school and overstaying in the position beyond the required term limit. Another parent, Doroso Okemba, calls for the church to intervene to solve the stalemate for the trustees to address parents' concerns. Early this year, learning was disrupted at the school as parents stormed the school to push out the management board. A petition was filed at the Mombasa High Court blocking the assumption of office for the new officials. Ian Muse for Lunchtime News.
Embu County Commissioner Jack Obua has put on notice individuals said to be intimidating locals doing businesses in the county. The individuals, whose name he did not disclose, are said to be targeting business operators and frustrating their operations. He has vowed to crack the whip on the said individuals while urging locals to volunteer any information to the authorities. He spoke in Embu town during a meeting with Juakali artisans.
Na tutahakikisha kwamba tuko na njia na uwezo wa kujua wale wana spread hiyo uoga kwa wananchi. So hatutasema ni nani, lakini tuko na uwezo tujue ni nani na tutadili na huyu mtu ambaye anataka kuspread uofu na uoga kwa wananchi ambaye wanafanya biashara yao. Sawa sawa? So please stay in peace. Usiogope na usifiche maneno.
Mahali ambapo hakuna kesi, our offices cannot be used for intimidation. Tumesikizana? Kama kutakuwa na malalamishi inahusiana na mambo ya intimidation, hii timu yenu mmechagua, mtawachia contact yangu. Mtu akipatiwa mwaliko ya kwenda kwa DCI na haitoshi, wananiambia.
Meanwhile, a section of legislators in Embu County have vowed to execute their oversight mandate effectively during the vetting of nominated cabinet secretaries at the National Assembly. The MPs observed that the President did his job nominating CSs, and a memorandum by the public on nominees will come in handy during the vetting exercise. The MPs further alleged that the National Assembly will carry its duty to vet them accordingly and will not pass any nominee with integrity issues in the past.
It is true for the President of the Republic of Kenya to conduct public participation in terms of the CSs who have been nominated to hold different offices in the cabinet. But sisi kama wambunge will do the vetting, and this time round we are going to comb keenly all the CSs who have been nominated to hold different cabinet secretaries' office.
Chukua responsibility yako kwa ukubwa ili uweze kuletea wananchi rasilimali ambazo wanafaa kupata, ili usaidie rais katika hiyo mzigo mkubwa ambayo iko ya Kenya mzima. Kwa hivyo ukiona umepewa nafasi ya kuwa cabinet minister, ujue Kenya inategemea wewe katika maneno ya kuhakikisha serikali imetimiza ahadi zake.
Well, the vetting exercise starts on Thursday and will conclude on Sunday, and we'll duly inform you once the process kickstarts. Now, the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, SUPKEM, has officially distanced itself from a court case seeking a referendum to remove President William Ruto and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office. SUPKEM National Chairman Alhaji Hassan Olenado stated that the council was not consulted before being named as an interested party. According to Olenado, consequently, SUPKEM will not file a response to the application and plans to request the court to remove it from the case. The case, which alleges a constitutional violation, incompetence and a lack of public trust, was filed by activist Cyprian Nyamwamu and 13 others.
We wish to point out that the Constitution of the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims provides that for the society to pursue such a court case, the issue must be tabled before the relevant organs of the council and a decision taken following appropriate processes. In present case, the relevant organ of the council was not consulted before the council was committed as an interested party. In this regard, we reiterate as follows: that the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims distances itself from the case filed by Nyamwamu and 13 others on grounds that we were not consulted and that SUPKEM is incapable of filing a response in its own name. 2, the leadership of SUPKEM will approach the Honorable Court seized on this matter to have SUPKEM discharged as an interested party. SUPKEM stands by its earlier position that following the historic protest by Gen Zs that pricked the conscience of our nation, the country needs to have a very serious conversation with itself in order to ensure that the genuine issues raised by Gen Zs are addressed comprehensively and with finality.
22 minutes past the hour. We are taking our first commercial break on KBC's Lunchtime News. Don't go too far, of course. On the other side of the break, we'll have more for you, including the latest highlights from the Olympics.
Kenya ni nchi ya mabingwa na
hapa hakuna shortcut.
Kuwa bingwa ni kujitolea, kujituma.
Mabingwa hutambua mabingwa wenzao.
Mabingwa hurauka kabla ya jua kuchomoka. Wengine kuwa mabingwa wa familia. Mabingwa huhakikisha tuna shine kama mabingwa. Wao hutulisha vyema. Ma-influencer wa kutuconnect mtandaoni. Mabingwa, wale ambao hutuongoza.
Sisi wote ni mabingwa.
Kijana hapo mbele, mzee hapo nyuma. Jamaa na jembe. Boda alimleta jamaa na jembe. Msichana wa kibao. Memba wa bodi, msichana wa maziwa.
Sisi wote ni Team Kenya.
France welcomes the world for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. In this edition, heroic Team Kenya is pushing boundaries as well.
An Olympic gold medal.
More significantly, Kenya is intent on claiming victory at the quadrennial sporting event comprising of 45 sports that will be staged from 24th of July through to the 11th of August. Here comes a dose for everyone.
Yes, it is!
For the athlete, it is chasing a dream of a lifetime. And for the fan, witness history in the making, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, welcome to the world of business. Over 9,000 households in 4 counties are said to be connected to the national grid at a subsidized rate under the 5th phase of the last mile connectivity. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has offered a grant of 1.85 billion shillings to facilitate last mile connections in the counties of Nakuru, Kwale, Kilifi and Nyandarua.
Since its inception in 2015, the Last Mile Connectivity Project has been a cornerstone in Kenya's efforts to increase electricity access. Funded to the tune of 73.1 billion shillings to date, the Last Mile Connectivity Project is a key component of the Kenya National Electrification Strategy, a strategy developed to expedite electricity access for households and businesses, with Kenya Power serving as the implementing agency on behalf of the government. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has now granted the project 1.85 billion shillings to facilitate the 5th phase, targeting to connect 9,121 households in Nakuru, Kwale, Kilifi and Nyandarua to the national grid by January 2025. This grant from the Japan International Cooperation Agency follows the signing of 76 contracts 2 months ago by Kenya Power for the implementation of the 27 billion shillings Phase 4 of the Last Mile Connectivity Project, targeting to connect up to 280,000 new customers to the grid by November 2025. According to Kenya Power, 746,800 households have been connected to the national grid under the first 3 phases of the Last Mile project. Trevor Ngendo for Lunchtime News.
Now, Kenya has officially rolled out a tourism marketing drive dubbed Ziara Kenya 1, Diaspora 1 Tourist, that seeks to harness the diaspora's network to attract at least 1 tourist per diaspora member annually, thus helping to catalyze growth in the tourism sector. Kenya Tourism Board Chief Executive Officer June SUPKEM says the initiative targets to turn each member of the Kenya diaspora into an ambassador for Kenya to ignite passion and connection that will boost tourist arrivals.
The new tourism marketing drive dubbed Ziara Kenya 1 Diaspora 1 Tourist is anchored on the premise that Kenyans in the diaspora are a formidable and equally patriotic community who continue to shape the fortunes of Kenya. The tourism marketing campaign seeks to harness the passion and goodwill of Kenyans in the diaspora to boost tourist arrivals, as the Kenya Tourism Board Executive Officer explains. She says the tourism marketing campaign draws inspiration from the significant growth of Kenyans living abroad. SUPKEM believes the 4 million Kenyans in the diaspora represent a wealth of untapped potential in catalyzing tourism promotion for Kenya.
Ziara Kenya is a diaspora-specific preposition that allows you Kenyans in diaspora to have an appreciation of destination Kenya and to be able to share the destination with your friends as our ambassadors and true ambassadors.
She says Kenyans in the diaspora will be empowered through an online e-line program and certification by Kenya Tourism Board that impacts deep destination knowledge, skills and inspiration to passionately promote Kenya. Under the initiative, influential diaspora members will be appointed as campaign ambassadors, as well as participate in key diaspora events to publicize the campaign. Frederick Moki for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, Davis and Shirtliff, a provider of water and energy solutions in Africa, is partnering with local utilities including Kenya Power to promote solar energy and net metering systems. Davis and Shirtliff Solar Manager Group Norman Chege says the initiative targets are to increase the supply of clean energy to Kenya Power's grid.
Kenya introduced net metering regulation in 2023. Allowing homes and businesses that generate the war renewable energy to supply surplus power into their national grid. This means customers who generate more electricity than they need can now store excess power in their national grid rather than in expensive batteries. Kenya is already a lender in renewable energy, with 87.5% of electricity coming from sources like geothermal, wind and solar.
We normally come with this monitoring system there.
in the product, in that you want to have real-time performance indicators, how the system is performing. You also want to basically have this data in terms of when do you generate more power, when do you extend a lot of power, and also all these fault detections, and to make sure that the customer has a solution that is fault-free.
Davies and Chalif is contributing to this goal by providing equipment like Huawei Grid Connect inverters and monitoring system, which help and manage track solar energy production.
You have a solar system. Obviously, you generate your power using solar panels. Then you have what you call a Grid Connect meter that synchronizes power to the mains and also to the solar power. And then you have a bidding mechanism whereby we have a bidirectional meter that can go either buy power or sell excess power. Then you have a credit system that is in the policy that is able to give you credit onto your supply.
Felix Q for Lunchtime News.
And now finally, welcome to the world of sports, where Zambia and Nigeria women football teams suffered defeats to Australia and Spain in their group matches last night on the